All right, we're doing something a little different today. You may have missed it, but I left a post on my community tab asking you guys, are there any fragrances that I've recommended that you have actually went out and bought and loved? Whether it be a blind buy,
which I don't recommend,
or whether it be actually getting a sample first,
which I do recommend.
And either way, it turned out to be an absolute love. I was really curious and I was really pleased with the feedback. So thank you to those of you who took the time to respond. And I'm just so happy to hear that my recommendations actually came in handy for you. And I took stock of what you guys said. I made a list of most of the fragrances that were mentioned, at least the ones that got multiple mentions, and I've actually ranked them here. We have 11 fragrances because we had a ton of ties, and the ties are simply based on who responded. And obviously a lot of you guys didn't respond. Some of these numbers could be a lot higher in terms of how many people stated each fragrance. If you guys all pitched in, we'll do this again. We might do it a little bit differently next time, so stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on your feed when my community tab post comes up. You'll see it, leave your feedback. You can make it into the next video. But let's jump right into this. So at the bottom spot, 11th spot, so to speak, we had 3 people say that they've tried this and they love it. HMEMCPY, Homme copy.
Some of you guys have some very interesting usernames.
Donovan Winder and my boy Cam. His name is different here on the screen, but he is a part of the Fresh Fam, my Patreon group, so I do know him a little bit more personally. And the 3 of them mentioned that they absolutely love Gucci Guilty Absolute Pour Homme. I have been recommending this one for a couple years now. It is not one for everyone, but geez, this is a special fragrance. This is a medicinal leather, woody cypress, earthy vetiver kind of fragrance. Very dry, woody, leathery, earthy. It's a little smoky perhaps. No sweetness, no real freshness here, but still quite wearable when you don't spray too much and when you wear it to the right occasions. I tend to want to dress this up and I tend to avoid wearing it in the heat. It's hot outside today. This is not going to be my scent of the day. But I still recommend getting a sample. It is discontinued, but it's still readily available even for decants. So do try it if you feel so daring. If you haven't yet, you have nothing to lose even by just getting a decant. Worst thing is you don't like it, but maybe you like it in a few months from now. You never know. Gucci Guilty Absolute. Next one up, we had another 3 people say that they tried this and they loved it. We have Marcus Holmes, we have Andre, and we have USMC86, who is responsible for actually gifting me another fragrance from this house, which I've only included in one video. I may not get around to wearing it this summer because it's not a summer scent. I'll probably come back to it later on, but I might include it here and there in some other videos along the way. The house we're talking about is Nishane, and this is B612. One of my absolute favorites from the house, period. One of the easiest fragrances to wear from the house. If you are looking for a first scent to try from them, this is not a bad one to start with. This is essentially like a modern fougere. Fougere meaning it has these very classical woody and aromatic and smooth mossy elements to it. Mostly smells kind of clean, but not in a super citrusy way. This is fresh with lavender. This does have some beautiful warmth from cashmere, which is a wood. And we also have a little bit of cypress in here, adding more of an unusual woody quality that you don't always get from fougeres, and cypress is a little bit different from other woods. You have to try it to really understand it, but I do recommend getting a sample if you have not already. I've been raving about it. This is a wonderful fragrance, especially for the summer. It's refined and it's classy, but it's also really versatile. You could wear it casually too. That is B612 from Nishane. Looks like we had 3 responses for this next fragrance. We had USMC86 also say he loved this one. We had Doc French say he really digs this one, in addition to a lot of other fragrances, as you can see. And same goes for Christopher Burgess, who said he tried this whole house and has loved almost everything, and I think owns almost everything. But this one here is Signature Rosé specifically. I've talked about it before. This is a rose fragrance for rose lovers and rose haters. If you are squeamish about rose, you need to try this. If you love rose, I don't know why you haven't tried this yet. This is rose and incense. So it is this wispy, airy, smoky, but not warm, but kind of a cooling, smoky rose fragrance, very concentrated, has a beautiful opulent quality, but it is, again, a little bit fresh, a little bit transparent from that incense, and backing it is some beautiful oud and vanilla as it dries on my skin. I've worn this in the heat. It actually turns a little bit chocolatey, and it smells simply intoxicating. It's gotten me a lot of compliments, especially when I've worn it while traveling. Kind of a strange traveling scent, but it's actually worked out for me very well. Signature Rosé, been raving about it. Do check it out at the link down below. You can check all these out down below. But if you've been missing out, you can see what people are saying about it. Stop waiting. Okay, we have another 3 responses here for this fragrance from Julius White, from Donovan Winder once again, and from Cam once again. Again, I'm sure there's more of you who have tried this and have enjoyed it, and maybe you just didn't see the post, or you just decided not to pitch in, or maybe you tried it and you don't like it. We'll save that for another time. But this is from Cartier. This is called L'Envol. Such a unique scent profile that is so wearable. This is primarily based on violet leaf, which is like this metallic green freshness, almost has an aqueous nature, almost minerally in a way, but it is mostly fresh, mixing with a lot of honey, some iris, and maybe some wood. So it's quite sweet. It kind of smells the way that it looks. It is sweet and sticky in a way, but it's also made quite fresh, again, from that violet leaf, but it does have a nice woody backing and has a little bit of this slightly waxy nuance in there, adding some texture from the iris. Do get your hands on this very handsome fragrance that you can wear day or night. You can dress it up or down. It is a little bit of a particular personality, so not everyone may love it, but if you do like the idea of something a little different that is quite versatile, Cartier L'Envol is one to check out, and it's not all that expensive. From the discounters, the quality that you get is a steal. Take it and run. I've been telling you, go check it out, get you a sample, you'll know what I mean. All right, our final one with 3 responses. Professor X said he wants to get this in his collection. Cam also said he digs it, and Abraham Mondlane, if I'm saying that correctly, digs this one as well. Again, this one is well loved by so many, even outside of this channel. Pasha, the Cartier Parfum. One of the best designer fragrances out there. It is definitely among the best designer flankers, period. This is what a flanker should be. Takes the original and it takes it in a very specific direction with personality, but still paying homage to the original. Not just one little slight tweak, not trying to follow a trend or anything like that. It takes the original Fougère DNA of Pasha de Cartier from 1992, which is a rich, aromatic, spicy, woody, kind of sweet, mossy scent that is quite powerful and a little bit mature. And it makes it deeper and richer. It kind of removes the freshness a bit. It adds a boozy quality. It adds a little bit of this sweet resinous quality, and it adds some beautiful sandalwood, making it quite creamy and has a lot of depth to it. And it still does have a little bit of a mature flair, but I think it's more modern smelling for sure. Incredibly elegant stuff. If you've tried it, you know. If you haven't tried it, I don't. Why haven't you tried this? Get a sample. Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Do it.
Do it.
All right, moving up the list here, we have more people trying these fragrances as we go through the list with 4 responses. Little Drummond Boy, Tony Tavares, Michael Harlow, and Mr. Cat. What a name. Coming from MFK, Maison Francis Kirkjohn, Gentle, Fluidity, Silver. Man, you guys know I'm a broken record with this fragrance. I've been talking about it for a couple years now. This is one of my most worn fragrances in my collection. And this is one of those fragrances that strikes that perfect balance of being super wearable, super versatile, but also quite different. It has a little bit of everything in terms of elements that make it very versatile to wear. Hot or cold weather, dressed up or dressed down, day or night, it's all in here. You can have this as a signature. You can spray it on in the morning. It will stay on your skin until the evening because the performance is great. This is a fresh, cooling juniper berry, so it has a gin-like feel to it. Very fresh, very invigorating, a little bit sharp, but also has this very interesting smooth clay-like, that might sound weird, warm spiciness that's creamy and sweet, vanilla, coriander, amber, and musk. It has a little bit of a sexy quality to it. It is a simple scent. It doesn't change very much, but again, it still smells different. It still smells interesting on the skin. And again, you're gonna have it on your skin for a long time. Gentle Fluidity Silver. Get you a sample of this. You'll know what I mean. Some of you guys have really dug this stuff. I've seen it in other comments on other videos. Do it. With 5 responses from LT Keen, Larry Morris, Nifty Jeff, Cam, once again, Cam's been taking a lot of my recommendations, and Ricardo. 3 a.m. from Sean John, one of the best cheapies ever, honestly, especially for an easy to wear summer fragrance that is a little bit different, still has a little bit of a unique quality, even though it is an amalgamation of some basic elements, but fizzy tonic water, citruses, some green fig leaf in there, a little bit of maybe spicy fresh cardamom, and some leather that makes it a little bit sexy as it dries. It's very effervescent, it's very cooling and fresh, but it does have this, again, slightly sexy, playful feeling to it in the base. Very easygoing scent. Something you can wear in the super high heat in the day. You can also wear it at night if you're going to some kind of outing and you want to have a fresh, sexy vibe. This is a great scent to consider, and you can get it in a lot of places for $20 or less. And it has one of the best atomizers in the market. Check it out if you haven't already. That's it. All right, we got 4 more to go. I didn't realize we had already broken the top 5 here. With 5 responses from Carlos Mendoza, You Don't Know, Sekel Le Bohang, or Sekele Le Bohang, I'm not sure, Ward Smith, and USMC 86 comes back with another confession that he did try this one. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I know a lot of people out there have enjoyed this one. I've been talking about it for a long time. John Varvatos Vintage. I don't need to say much more about it. I don't wear it all that much these days, to be honest, but it's still one that I will always have. I will always come back to it whenever I do happen to spray it. I never get tired of it. I'm not like, okay, I don't really care about this anymore. I still love this fragrance. This is a very gentlemanly scent, something I like to reserve for the fall time or springtime, but I might also wear it on a warm summer evening if it's not too hot. It has an aromatic quality to it. It has a slightly juicy quality to it from, I think, some rhubarb, and it dries to this beautiful kind of warm suede leather. It is so well blended for a designer fragrance. For the price you can get it discounted. This is kind of a designer masterpiece in my opinion. John Varvatos Vintage. Not everyone's gonna love it, but not everyone's gonna love every fragrance. Check it out if you haven't already, get you a sample. All right, with another 5 here, we have Tony Tavares, You Don't Know is back. My boy Devin. We have Justin B, great name, and we have Justin Jackson. Any other Justins out there haven't tried this fragrance yet? If you haven't, join the club.
Welcome, this is where you want to be.
Try Triumph of Bacchus from Argos. I've been, you know, I reviewed this stuff. I've talked about it in so many videos. You have to love sweet fragrances to enjoy this. I've seen a lot of comments saying it's too sweet, it's sickly sweet. You just may not be a fan of deeply rich, sweet fragrances, and that's totally fine. But you have to really appreciate that and enjoy that to enjoy this fragrance. This is a sweet tobacco scent with some very robust accents of rum. So it's quite boozy. You do have some fruits like peach and apple. You have maybe some saffron in there, and that tobacco is a little bit earthy and leafy, making it quite rich on the skin. This is sexy. This is perfectly unisex. This is also a little bit elegant, but because it's quite boozy, I would consider it more playful. Again, you gotta like sweet. I always say try Argos fragrances sample pack. Use the code FRESH10, save you some money on that. Try all of their fragrances. You get what you pay for with these, and you can't always say that. Argos. Okay, we have another 5 here. We have Christopher M, Tommy Milton, Cyril Madilaba, if I'm saying that correctly. I always see Cyril in my comments on my live streams and in the videos in general. Always good to see you. We have Hassan Akdogan, sorry if I mispronounced that, and we have Big Fun at the Gallows. I just thought that was a funny little name. This is one of my absolute favorite fragrances in my collection. It's one of my top 3 favorites from the house of Rosé Parfums. If you've been following this channel, you already know. Those of you who've tried it, I've seen a lot of feedback saying, I see why you rave about this fragrance so much. There's a reason. Now, unfortunately, I don't think it's immediately available at the moment for very particular reasons. Maybe it'll come back in the future, I'm not sure. But from Rosé, as I said, Oligarch. I have both versions here. the now discontinued Eau de Parfum, which is my first love. I do think I prefer this one a little bit. It is just brighter and more citrusy and fresher and just has more of a pop to it. Definitely great for the heat. The Parfum version, which is brand new for this year, is the same fragrance. It's the same profile. It's just kind of darkened and richened, more rounded. It's not quite as diffusive, quite as poppy, but it does have a little bit more depth, a little bit stronger legs to it. It will stick around a little bit longer. It will leave a more robust trail, whereas this might actually project more. But again, good luck getting this unless you can find a decant of the original. The Parfum version, if this is all you can get, I think it's still worth it. The DNA is amazing. Citrusy and fruity, woody, a little bit green. So many elements in here. Makes a very elegant, very gentlemanly, very put together and refined fragrance that's actually quite versatile. You don't have to dress it up. You could dress it down. Amazing. Amazing, worth the price, at least worth a sample. And we had 7 people come through and say that they bought this or tried this, but mostly just bought it, and it was a total win. And I know what you mean, because this was love at first sniff for me. Love at first sniff without question. Joshua Fournier, Only Ariane, Stephen Bissek, LT Keen is back, Mohammed Rabbani, Valdez Birth, and finally USMC 86 is back again, trying all these fragrances. Ganymede. Yes, Ganymede. The hype is real on this, honestly. If you're looking for a fresh fragrance that smells like nothing else you've smelled, that is very versatile but very different to the point where not everyone may appreciate it, this is one to check out. It lasts a freaking long time. It smells like you just stepped into a Bentley. It smells like the interior of a luxury car, that leather. You get that suede leather, you get this metallic freshness in there from Violet Leaf. A little bit of this unusual accord from Immortelle, which almost makes this hay or tobacco feel that's almost culinary, but it really gives the fragrance personality. All of this comes together in such a way that, again, very easy to wear. If you like it, you can wear it anywhere. If you don't like it, get you a sample, spend time with it. Maybe you'll learn to love it. I haven't smelled anything like this. This is a stunning fragrance. This is timeless. This is Ganymede from Marc-Antoine Barros. Check it out. All right, thank you guys for contributing to this video. Those of you who did, if you want to be in the next one, because we will do something like this again, make sure you keep an eye on my community tab. Make sure you keep an eye out for the question, and then you'll see your name pop up in a video. So would love to have your feedback in the very, very, very near future. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances and you did not respond, and check them out down in the links below if you haven't already. Again, I've been telling you guys for too long, you need to try these fragrances for a reason. You've seen your peers edify that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.